here and to connect with you today. I'm feeling really good. And I think this might be in reverse mirrored. Anyway, welcome. This is our August 2022 Healing List event for some of my Temple of Balance patrons. So thank you so much to my patrons and those of you on the healing list today. We have 43 people on the healing list. And our focus today is around renewal. So this sense of feeling refreshed, this sense of growth inside, this sense of feeling alive. And hi, Alison. Alive and maybe renewed and ready for the next phase that calls us. So whether it's a next phase of our journey that might be quite literal, something new that's opening or beginning or starting, or whether we've had a bit of a difficult period or a healing period we've been going through and we're moving out of that. So there's a sense here of what it reminds me of, the feeling is walking through a really damp, beautiful, lush green rainforest. Hi, Janice. And hi, Bathsheba. And it's raining outside now. Hopefully next month, it's September. Jane, good morning. September, I've always, the last 3 or 4 years, we've done planting the seeds of new beginnings. So hopefully the weather's okay next month, but it doesn't matter right now. We're renewing ourselves today. And the cat's in here to renew herself too. So I'll be working with the Phoenix drum. Welcome, Janice. I've pinched Corey's Phoenix drum. I feel this is really appropriate. So I'm going to be playing that. We'll play that pretty much soon in a minute to help clear the energy. I really would like to clear things, to release. And what I've done, I haven't done this before. So I've done this before. I've got your names, all of your names in the singing bowl. And then I have another bowl. I have one of my monster cookie jars, and in here are 43 words. So all words starting with release, renew, refresh, recharge, rest, all the words that start with re. And then in here I've got a third group of words, just random words. So love, earth, body, consider, plan, expand, communication, just some of the words I can see. So my plan is to grab a name, grab a word, grab one of these other words and bunch them up together with that person's name. So I don't know how it's going to go, but I do trust that this is what I felt I wanted to do. So I trust it works out. I'll play the singing bowl at some point. I haven't got my healing energy cards. I forgot them. So if I really need them, I'll just run and grab them. They're only in the next room. But yeah, so let's first of all start by just talking a little bit about the word re. Hi, Teala. Re is an English preposition, which means that it precedes a noun or a pronoun. And it's been in use since at least the 18th century. Hi, Angela. So re means, so when it's renewal, refresh, something, re means in the matter of or with reference to, apparently. So we're going to be going names, re, other. But let's start with the drum. And with this renewal energy too, the call to continual spiritual renewal. So it feels quite spiritual, at least for me right now, but maybe for you, you're going through some other things, emotional or physical or mental, that you need to renew yourself. So maybe give some thought, because it's no accident that you happen to be here, if you're on the list or not. Give some thought to what needs renewing for you in your life. Or are you in a point of renewal, a space of renewal? I know for me personally, I was needing to, I kept saying revive myself at the beginning of August. And with all my painting and the art residency and devoting time to all of that sort of social, very social creating element, I do feel very renewed and refreshed at this point of the month. So I feel like I've reached that point. But maybe for you, you're starting it, or you're maybe considering it today to see what you need to refresh and renew yourself to help you feel alive again. So is it a spiritual renewal for you? Are you being reborn in a sense on a spiritual level, or is it more physical, emotional, mental for you? What have you got going on? What have you been going through? And where would you like to see yourself? Oh, yeah. Well, wishing you a continual and hopefully a beautiful recovery there, Angela. In the re words, isn't it? I don't know if I've got recover in there, actually. So let's think about stripping back and aligning with this energy of renewal. So let's start with the drum. I have to take my microphone and put it away, otherwise it makes the drum just rattly from your end. So I'm going to move the microphone away so I won't be speaking. But I just want to share a couple of things first. So I'm going to drum just for a minute or two. And I'm going to drum with the intention of releasing and shifting out what is, and supporting your ability to decide for yourself what needs to be released or removed from your space. What is holding you back at this time? What are you stuck in? What are you rolling around in? And is that working for you, or is it pulling you down or holding you down? And if it is, then I want to use the drum to help support your standing up, your opening of your eyes, and your ability to see and maybe refresh yourself and see that there is something out there for you, something to move towards, something to enjoy, something to create, something to change perhaps, that is calling you. So this is, I feel, an empowering thing, giving you the power to decide, are you happy where you are now? If not, what can you do about it? And it might not be something you can do about it in the click of your fingers or overnight. It takes time to get your life back on track. It can take time to heal. It can take time to recover. But it doesn't have to take forever to do these things. So I've also seen people in my life very trapped by that element of time. And it's like just this permanent healing, or this permanent release, or this permanent difficulty because of that time, the hold of that it takes time to heal. It can and it does take time to heal, but it doesn't take forever. So let's be careful we don't use time as an excuse to keep putting things off. So I'm feeling quite energized with this space that we're in today, and hopefully you feel motivated to really make some serious adjustments in your life. So I'm going to remove my microphone and I'm going to drum for a couple of minutes. Work with the sound of the drum, work with your breathing. There's nothing you can do wrong. Just listen and let the drum support your release. Really think about releasing, surrendering, detaching, letting go of all of the stuff that you've got going on that's holding you back, your own attitude and behavior that's holding you back, your own belief system that's holding you back. See if you can let all that go and we'll see what wants to be renewed within us today. So I trust you enjoy. Okay. So, ready to go. I've got the cat passed out here next to me, purring her head off. I know she's going now. Okay, I'm going to move the Phoenix drum closer then. And when I pull your name and your words out, I'm going to put you all on the Phoenix drum. So the Phoenix drum is sitting down here like this. Oops, like this. Here next to me, and that's going to be like the landing grounds for you all. And it feels like sacred ground, you know, really honoring this time that you need for you, for your healing, but also your release and your personal renewal. And really deciding for yourself what that is. I can't emphasize that enough. So if you have your journal handy, make some notes, write out the words that really speak to you, that really touch you, that really stir something inside or feel true and aligned with you in this moment. Not yesterday or how tomorrow might be, but now. What is it that you need now? So this will take a little bit of time. So let's get set up. So if you just joined in, I've got you all here. All of your names, those of you on the healing list here in my bowl. And then in this pot, I have all the words to add to your name. And then in the star pot, I have just random other words that I've done. So let's start. And let's just trust in this unfolding. So Kathleen Glen. Kathleen Glen, and your two words are rearrange and love. Rearrange love. Rearrange things around love somehow. So maybe consider where you stand with the energy of love right now. Could be relationship, romantic, could be self-love, could be finding a love for life. So what needs to be rearranged for you in your own self, with your attitude, with your thinking perhaps, or with the things that you're doing with your time that can align you further with love. So Kathleen Glen, you're on the Phoenix, ready to fly, ready to go, ready to leave. Bridget Mehrtens, your words are real and express. So this is talking about expressing your truth. Expressing your truth, expressing your real and authentic self. So don't be afraid. Don't do your best not to hold back. Don't be afraid to express and be real. Okay, next is Robin Hippler. Robin, your word is relief. And, we've got two. Let's just drop one back. Relief and settle. Okay, that's interesting. So they both sort of feel quite similar. This settling energy and this sense of relief. So I don't know what's going on for you, Robin, at this time, but maybe some guidance here for you is to maybe think about how things can settle, or how you can allow things to settle for you, and how you can find relief. So it feels to be calming and settling. So I trust that makes sense. Okay, next person is Rayna Ortiz. Rayna, your words are rejoice. Oh, sorry, not rejoice. Rejoin. I jumped to a conclusion there. Rejoin and light. Rejoin the light. Let go of the darkness, the things that are keeping you dark and heavy, and rejoin, realign yourself, reconnect with your light. So welcome, Rayna. You're on the drum. Next is Christopher Regan. Christopher, your words are rest and endings. So this is like, almost feels to me like a personal support to give yourself that space to rest, to heal, to mend, especially in regards to the endings that are taking place around you. And if you've been a bit too restful lately, maybe that also needs to consider, for you to consider bringing that to an end so that you can revive things a bit for yourself, get motivated again if you've been feeling a bit unmotivated. Priscilla Kimboko. Priscilla, your words start with relax and body. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. Priscilla, relax your body. Let your body relax. See how that sits for you. Okay, next is Janice. Janice Chalmers, your words are this one, reserve and right. Wow, this feels to me like it's making time. You know, reserving time, reserving energy, reserving space, making time, making energy to write, or in other words, to do things that you need to do to express yourself, including creating, but probably especially writing down. Make that time and maybe explore that word of reserve. That's interesting. Thanks, Janice. Next is Susan Sonsteng. Susan, your words are reduce and consider. Consider reducing. What are you reducing? So this could be something to do with like your physicality. So it could be like the space that you take up physically, like your weight, for example, if that's something you've been considering. Consider reducing your stress, reducing your worry, reducing the things that pull you down, reducing interactions with people that are negative and are stressful for you. So what do you need to consider reducing that resonates with you, Susan, and what you've got going on at this time? So welcome to my Phoenix drum. Well, it's Corey's, but our Phoenix drum. Kimberly Veness. Kimberly, your words are relevant and balance. Okay, so this to me feels like picking and choosing what is relevant, what are your priorities, what's important to you that will help keep you balanced. So sometimes we need to work out our priorities or what's really relevant and appropriate for us in that moment or at that particular time in our life. So how my balance looks now is different to how my balance looked a month ago and how my balance will look in a month's time. So it's always shifting and changing and adjusting. And it really is about picking and choosing or being aware of what is relevant, what is appropriate as well at the time, and what is priority or not priority based on how the body might feel or what's going on in life on the external. So there's lots of things to consider. But Kimberly, consider what's relevant, what can you pick and choose, or what's important for you in regards to your balance. Okay, next is Susan McMillan. Susan, your word is, or your words, your first word is recalculate. Recalculate and expand. So recalculate things, work things out again. Maybe things that used to work for you don't anymore in regards to your expansion, your growth, your especially on a spiritual level, but maybe also personal too, your personal expansion, your personal growth. So what needs to be recalculated with that may, or readjusting, that has perhaps changed since your original plan or your original goal. So thank you so much, Susan. You're on the Phoenix. Next person is Suzie Nicholls. Suzie, your words are ready. Oh, this feels cool. This feels like a green light to me. Ready and thoughts. So this is just bringing attention to your thoughts. So your way of thinking, and make sure that your thoughts are aligned with you being ready to go, ready to take action, ready to start something new, ready to follow or move with the green light when it turns on, rather than your thoughts being against that readiness. So if your thoughts are in the red light, in the stop, then it's going to be difficult for you to move with the green light. So make sure your thoughts are aligned with the green light that's wanting you to ready yourself so that you can move and go wherever you need to go and whatever's calling you. So ready your thoughts, ready yourself, but especially mentally. So I trust that resonates, Suzie. Okay, next is Joanne Monroe. Joanne, your words are, we've got a couple together. Let's just get those separated. Record, and hearts. So this is, to me, this is about making a record of your heart. Your heart for healing, your heart for love, your heart for, I get this feeling of springtime, of summer, of this beautiful energy here in the heart, and you're being encouraged to record it. So record it through writing, through speaking, through video, or through creating something, making a mark somewhere that records your heart's current state and where it's growing and transforming and moving to. So that's very interesting. Thank you, Joanne. Okay, next person is Carol White. So Carol, your words are, let's grab this one, result and start. That's interesting. So that very interesting, because the result thing made me think of like an exam or passing a test, and the result of something that you've worked towards, something that you've been tested on. So it's like the result, but then you've got the start energy too. So it almost feels like something tying up, like the results coming in of the period of time. So if it was like ending some study or some training of some sort, the results are in, you've got your marks, your results, this has been assessed, you've got this down on paper, your results, and then that leads into the start of something new. So it's an interesting kind of correlation and connection here, Carol. So what are the results? Maybe write down your own personal results of this period of life you've been through the last year or two. What are your results? What have you achieved? What have you obtained? How have you helped? This type of thing, gather your own results and using that to help propel you into starting something new. Yeah, interesting. So thanks, Carol. Okay, let's grab this person, Matthew Keith. So Matthew, your words are research and plan. Well, they're very connected, aren't they? Research and plan. So this feels very sort of book-like, or researching, not necessarily books. Back in the day, you'd go to the library and you'd research and you'd have your notebook and you create a plan, or you'd correlate the information you've gathered onto your notepad. You don't tend to do that these days, but there is this feeling of research and creating a plan from what you discover from what you've researched or what you're researching. So I don't know what you're looking for information on here, Matthew, but keep looking for the information, and from that, the information that you need will help you gather or gain or work towards a plan that you need. And it feels like something to do with your future, something about moving forward. Okay, next person is, how you're doing there, is Emily Fussell. I don't know if you're there, Emily, but you're next. And your words are revise and and tunnel. Interesting. Revise the tunnel. Okay, so what is this tunnel? Might be important to figure out first. What is this tunnel that you're walking through at this time? Is it a path, maybe an in-between path that's leading you somewhere? That's the sort of feeling. Like, you know, instead of going over a bridge that will take you from one landmass to another, you know, over a river or whatever, it feels like a tunnel, but this goes underground and it feels blackened, and this takes you from one place to another. So it's probably more of an internal tunnel, a part of your healing journey that you're walking through, that you're traveling through, that's taking you from one space or one state to another. And you're being encouraged to revise this. So because it feels like you're going through this tunnel now, maybe now is a really important moment, Emily, to revise where you're at. Get your bearings, make sure that things are on track, make some adjustments if you need to, and then continue moving forward. So it feels like a revising of that tunnel. Do you need to be in the tunnel, or can you move up now to the bridge? Maybe you've done what you need to do in the tunnel and you don't need to be in there any longer. So that type of thing might be important to revise and reflect upon. So thanks, Emily. Okay, next person is Kanti Devi. Kanti, your words are respect. Respecting what? Oh, respect and out. So there is a feeling here of we could change respect into accept. Accept and respect the things that are basically done. The things that you're out of now. The things that have come to an end is the feeling here. Aren't they interesting? Respect the things that you're out of now, or accept the things that you're out of. Interesting, Kanti. Thank you. I trust that resonates and supports you. Next person is Viktoria Daniels. Viktoria, your words are reform. Reform fire. I love it. So fire to me is about your passions, your healing, your strength, moving forward in your life, revived really, in perhaps with more of a motivated intention. And you're being encouraged to look at how you can reform your attitude, reform your passions, reform what fire means to you. So how would you connect with that element of fire? What does it feel like for you? How would you define it? What do you sense with it in regards to you on a personal level? And what needs reforming or shifting a bit about this energy that you're connected with fire? Yeah, interesting. Thank you so much. Thanks, Viktoria. Okay, next person is Joanna Levine. Joanna, your words are regain, and heal. Regain your healing. Heal to regain, or focus on your healing to regain what you feel might be missing, what you feel might not be there for you, Joanna. So the key to me here in what I'm feeling is your healing and dedicating time to your healing, to your release, to understanding things that you've struggled to deal with or accept from your past. And that will help you regain yourself and regain your strength and regain that sense of being healed, if you like, having less pain and suffering around you. So trust that makes sense. Rebecca Ross. Rebecca, your words are register. These are interesting. Register against. Well, that's funny. So, Rebecca, what do you need to register against? Is there something that goes against your morals, against your truth, against who you are? that you have been considering perhaps standing up for, or just not allowing into your life somehow. So what do you need to register against? Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, next person is Sylvia. Sylvia Barley. Sylvia, your words are reach. Reach what? Reach for the new. You've got new, as in N-E-W. Reach for the new. No, I haven't said your name yet, Bathsheba. You're still in my bowl here. Yeah, so Sylvia, reach for the new. Reach for it. Don't hold back. Don't hesitate. Don't doubt so much. The new is there. It's in your reach. It's in your grasp. It's there. All you need to do is have the courage to reach out and grab the new and bring it into your life and into your heart. So be careful that you're not wanting the new but keeping your hands back like this. Reach out and grab it. It's right there. It's so close. So close, Sylvia. Jayne Corlett. Jayne, your words are rear. R-E-A-R, rear. And what do we want to go with that? Rear friendship. So that feels to me like a friendship in the past. A friendship in the past, in the rear of you, like in the rear view mirror is what I'm thinking, in the car, that mirror that looks to the back behind us when we're driving. And a friendship that's in the rear, coming up the rear, or in the past, coming up in the past. And yeah, maybe something there to consider, Jayne. What is the friendship that's coming up the rear? Is there a friendship that is kind of sitting there in the background that could be really valuable for you and the other person? Yeah, interesting. See how that resonates. Okay, these are interesting because the re words are not words that, I mean, they're just words I grabbed from the dictionary. So, yeah, it's interesting. Bathsheba, your time has come. So hopefully you're still here. Bathsheba, your words are oh, sorry. I've got to stop jumping to conclusions when I see the first couple of letters. Review. So what do you need to review? This. Review and cover. Cover is your other word. I don't even remember writing that down. Why did I write cover? That's interesting. Okay. So what I'm feeling here, Bathsheba, is maybe there's a need to review and reflect on what is covered up for you, what's under the veil, what's hidden, what's sitting under the surface, what's covered up. It could be something that's secret and private, maybe that you need to personally review or consider or reflect upon. Is this still needing to be covered? Does this still need to be secret or private, for example? Does it still need to be personal? Or can you uncover it now? Has the time come for you to uncover, to reveal, to let it out, if you like? And it doesn't mean you have to let it out to anyone else. It could be just something that you're now ready to release, something that you've kept private. So what do you need to review that's been covered? Interesting. I hope that resonates there for you, Bathsheba. Next person is Gayle McCoy. Gayle, your words are rediscover. Rediscover your center. Rediscover your center. Okay, so if you've been feeling out of balance, out of center, out of alignment with yourself, you're being encouraged to find a way to rediscover it, because it feels to me like the way you used to find your center or your alignment or your balance may have changed. So things have changed for you, perhaps physically or in your body, but also physically in your life. Maybe there's a change for you emotionally and mentally and spiritually as well. So it's feels like a rediscovery, almost an adventurous feeling for you to rediscover yourself again. So what adventure can you take yourself on personally, maybe meditation or somewhere out, to somewhere you've never been before that's nearby, or whatever you're drawn to, so you can rediscover your center. And actually it feels like rediscovering your heart, your center point, your heart. So do you feel connected with your heart? And if not, how can you rediscover your center, or what I'm feeling, perhaps your heart? So thanks, Gail. Okay, we've still got quite a few people in here, so thanks for your patience. Next person is Amanda Sanders. So Amanda, your words are respond and nature. Okay, so you've been encouraged to consider your relationship with nature and your response to nature. So first of all, are you spending enough time in your mind with nature? And if not, maybe consider making some time to spend with nature. It could be in your surroundings, in your area, could be in your own, wherever you're living, if you've got a little bit of nature somewhere in your backyard or somewhere like this. Yes, okay, if that feels right for you, Bathsheba. Yep, thank you. Or somewhere further afield in nature. But how can you connect with nature and then look at how you're physically responding to nature? How are you emotionally responding to nature? What is nature revealing to you that you need to know for your healing and for your growth, for your renewal, Amanda? So I trust that resonates. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see who's next. Jayne B. Jayne B. Let's see. Your words are rejuvenate and self. Well, they go together very easily, don't they? Rejuvenate yourself. So maybe consider how might that rejuvenation look? What is it that you need to be able to rejuvenate yourself, especially after and probably still in a period of difficulty? How can you rejuvenate things? So is it give yourself a massage? Is it visiting your favorite place in nature? What is it that you need to do to rejuvenate yourself? No one else. You. That's the feeling. Thanks, Jayne. Okay, next person is Magenta Borealis. Magenta, your words are rebuild. Rebuild air, the element of air. So that's interesting. So rebuild to me has a structural feel, like building a building. It feels very structural in my mind as I connect with this. So rebuilding feels quite structural. The air element doesn't. So the air element feels unstructured. It's present, we can breathe it, we need it, but you can't exactly hold it like you could hold a brick or something. So it feels less tangible, that feeling of air, than the feeling of rebuilding something. So it feels to be like air is also connected to the mind. So the thoughts, your intentions, your beliefs, your insecurities, and the things that you're thinking in your mind. So it might be worth considering how matched up or aligned your physicality is with your thoughts. Are what you're thinking and your intentions, are they manifesting in the physical, or is there a disconnect between what's happening in your life physically and what's going on in your head, in your thoughts? And how could you marry them up somehow? Can you put your thoughts to action and really think about how you can use your thoughts, the power of your mind, to rebuild areas of your life, especially physical areas that feel like they're crumbling or they haven't got much structure or much form. They're not that yeah, form is probably a really good word to use. So how can you get your mind to support what needs reforming and rebuilding in your life? So that's very interesting. Thank you, Magenta. Okay, next person is Nicole E. Nicole, welcome. Let's see. Your words are reassemble, and connect. So how can you reassemble your connections? How can you reconnect to your connections? What needs reassembling in your life that can support your connections? So first of all, maybe consider what feels disconnected. What are the connections that are important to you, Nicole, at this point, and what needs your attention? And how can you reassemble things, rebuild? It's a very similar energy, isn't it? If things have become unassembled or disassembled, how can you reassemble them again in regards to your connections? And it's probably connected to your spirituality, is my suspicion here. So thank you so much. Next person is Marguerite Pepper Brady. Marguerite, your words are rewind, and earth. Okay, so connecting with the earth, nature, whatever that means to you earth-wise, but my suspicion is nature. As you connect with nature, that will help you rewind, unwind, also to heal and to go back into the past, to rewind into the past for your healing and for your release. So it feels like the earth element, nature itself, could be very supportive for that, of that for you. So earth is about your physicality as well. So what needs winding back? What needs to be looked at from the past in regards to your physicality? Rewind the earth. And there's a sense I can't get past with the combination of these about freezing time in some ways. You know, like sometimes things move so fast, and it feels to me a bit with what I'm feeling is this sense of slowing things down, slowing down time, you know, like the rotation of the earth, you know, think the months are flying by, days, months, years, you know, this kind of fast forward feeling in general of time moving really fast. So I'm feeling here too that there's a rewind, almost like slowing things down feeling here as we have these two words, rewind and earth. So how can you slow things down? Maybe connecting with the earth and things in your physicality might help. So I trust that helps, Marguerite. And sorry, Jane, I missed what you said here. How can I access this? Jane says, been giving myself mini massages for self-compassion and healing my body. Plan a rejuvenation spring. Sounds lovely. Next person is Chelsea Keith. Chelsea, your words are recover and recover communication. Interesting. So what's been feeling blocked up in regards to communication? So this could be, and most likely it shows up externally as relationships or communication in relationships with people around you. But often it comes back to our communication or lack thereof with ourselves. So how can you, or what needs to be recovered in regards to communication for you? What has been feeling off, or what air needs to be cleared or cleaned or sorted or recovered in regards to communication? You may need to speak up. You may need to say or work out how you feel first and then speak up about it. So don't keep yourself silenced there. Thanks, Chelsea. Next person is Andreas Kazantzidis. Your words are reaction and breathe. So it reminds me of those, you know, are we in situations? Are we reacting or are we responding? So in moments where you feel you're reacting, Andreas, where you're reacting and you're maybe getting a bit hot-headed or a bit reactive in certain situations, you're being encouraged to breathe first and maybe consider responding. So taking a little bit of time, taking a breath. In general, we can't always do this, but if you can, take a breath, maybe step away, maybe even sleep on it overnight, and then move into a response rather than a reaction. So reactions are reactionary, initial, kind of usually impulsive, quite emotional, and they're usually filtered through our own issues. So if you find yourself just overreacting to things too, then you're being encouraged just to stop and breathe. Take a deep breath and see if you can control in some ways that energy that feels a bit reactive. So I trust that makes sense for you, Andreas, and thank you so much. Okay, we've still got probably 10 maybe in the pot, in the bowl. And I might play that bowl in a second before we move on, but we'll focus on this person first. It's Pamela Florea. Pamela, your words are reiterate, your creativity. This to me feels like, I feel like a line, like drawing a line on a piece of paper and going over it and over it and over it. So in some ways, this feels like practice. It feels like persistence, and especially in regards to your creativity. And if you've got to reiterate something, if you find yourself repeating yourself in situations or communications or instances with others, if you're repeating, if you're reiterating things, you might find a more creative approach might be a better way forward, if you like. So you're not continuing to have to repeat yourself. So I trust that makes sense, Pamela. Thank you. And I'll continue with the rest in a moment. Let's just do the singing bowl for a second. So nice big breath. And just allow yourself to settle, to breathe, to relax, to receive, to just sit with what comes up for you. Sit with it for a few days, see how it feels and what it means for you, especially in regards to your renewal, your growth. And helping you feel alive and refreshed. Okay, let's see who's next. Next is Yvonne Kruzich. Yvonne, your words are renew and ground. So to renew yourself, the key to your renewal, I feel, Yvonne, is to consider your grounded state. How grounded are you in truth? Or how ungrounded are you? Your renewal feels in some ways governed by your ability or your current state of being grounded or ungrounded. So keep yourself connected to the earth, to your physicality, to your physical life as best as you can to help support your renewal. So I trust that makes sense. Thank you so much. Next person is Nicole Wiggins. And Nicole, your words are rekindle, water. So water elements, literally water, drinking, bathing, that sort of thing. But also it's connected with the emotions. It's also connected with creativity. So what do you need to rekindle emotionally? What do you need to rekindle creatively? Also, what do you need to potentially rekindle sexually? That may also be coming into play here. So Nicole, the water element is strong for you. Thank you so much. Okay, next person is Andrea Stuart. Andrea, your words are remain, remain and listen. To me, it feels like keep listening. Keep listening to your intuition. Keep listening to others who might have some words of wisdom for you or some help or advice. Keep listening to your emotions, how you feel, and listening to your thoughts. Keep listening to your children and listening to your family. Remain in that state of listening. So we can also say paying attention, really paying attention to what's going on around you. So continue to do that, Andrea, is the guidance there. So I trust that makes sense. Next person is Alison. Alison, your words are rely, R-E-L-Y, rely, and song. Rely on song or music to support your renewal, your healing, your growth, or whatever it is that you personally need. Thanks, Alison. Or whatever it is that you personally need, you can rely on the songs that speak to you, the music that uplifts you, the songs and even lines and lyrics in songs that really speak to you and support your healing. So you can rely on song and music. So that wouldn't be coming up for any random accident, those types of messages. So for you, Alison, there's probably a song that you're quite loving right now, and it may be worth really listening closely to the lyrics or what's happening in your body if it's not got lyrics at all. So next person is Tash Gerlach. And Tash, your words are readjust and choice. Interesting. Readjust your choice. What have you chosen? So if there's a choice that you've made and a choice that's appropriate now, these shouldn't be things that are really hard to think of. So just let them come to the surface as things that should be relevant in some ways in your life at this time. So if there's a choice you've just made, or if you're faced with a decision right now, Tash, you're being encouraged. Yes, beautiful, Alison. You've been encouraged to consider readjusting things in regards to your choice. Things may not be as you think or as they seem to be from your perspective right now. So if you can consider your choice from all sorts of angles and make sure whatever you're deciding that it is the best option for yourself and those involved, and that you're doing the right thing, truth-wise as well, morally. So I trust that resonates, Tash. Next person is Jane Larson. So we've got about 6 people left, I think. Jane Larson, your words are regulate, and power. Aren't these? Some of these combinations are extremely interesting. Regulate your power. Oh, fantastic, Tash. Thank you. So Jane Larson, regulate your power. So this feels to be like just make sure you keep your power in check. Keep it real, keep it realistic, keep it regulated. So if it's not regulated, our power can lead to unhealthy levels of power. It could lead to self-obsession, being self-absorbed. It can lead to manipulation, anger, control, trying to control other people. We all know the kind of over-the-top elements of power if it goes to our head, let's say. So just keep your power regulated, keep your self-love is a great example. I've seen so many people well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I've seen several people throughout my life who went from feeling my light ran out. That went from feeling very low and doubtful about themselves, really lacking in self-love, to traveling that journey to feeling self-love, and then just tipping over into this self-obsession, this being so self-absorbed and so self-centered. So I'm personally super attentive to making sure I don't tip into that, because I feel like it can easily tip. It's almost like walking on the edge of a knife at times, where we reach that sort of point or that time or that moment of self-love and self-acceptance of who we are. But then it can sort of easily, if we allow it to, tip over into this other facet of power or this other facet of self-love, as an example. So I think it's really important that we do personally regulate that. So I think this is really interesting to get these two together, Jayne. So regulate your power, especially if you've been feeling a bit like a crabby dragon lately. What do you need to regulate? What needs some self-control in regards to how you're dealing with your power, your strength, your power, your personal power. So next person is Michelle Birch. Michelle, your words are to release. And it's going to be interesting, the last person's going to have the last words. So Michelle Birch, your words are release and make. And the feeling I have here straight away is think about, well, one, what do you need to, or what are you feeling drawn or inspired to make in your life? How do you want to make your life? So this could be not only making things, which may be appropriate, but I feel like this is about, what do you want to make of your life? What do you want to make of your future? What do you want to make of this relationship? What do you want to make of this opportunity? So what do you want to do with these things? What are you currently in the position of making? And what do you need to release in regards to that? Do you need to release expectations or fear or resistance in regards to what you want to make? So maybe think about, what do you want to make of these things? What do you want to make of yourself? What do you want to make of your relationship and all this stuff, or whatever appeals to you? Figure that out first, and then maybe consider what is blocking that. And that energy is what's highlighted here around releasing. So what do you need to release so that you can make this, so that you can create that? So very interesting. Thanks, Michelle. Next person is Sandi Greenham. Sandi, your words are resolve and strengthen. Okay. So Sandi, it feels to me like there's something that needs to be resolved. Something perhaps from the past or something in the present that is maybe a struggle for you, that needs a resolution of some sort. And when you find that resolution, then that will help strengthen you. So it's very hard to feel strong about something or strong about yourself if you've got dangling, unresolved issues hanging around you. So it feels like something needs to resolve first, and then your strength will follow from that. So maybe give some thought to that. Hopefully that resonates, Sandi. Thank you so much. Next person is Avril Daly. Avril, your words are reflect and look. They're quite similar, really. Look and reflect. So this is in general about paying attention. Pay attention, really look and reflect. Pay attention to what's going on around you. And that should help support your renewal, is the feeling here. So reflect, look, pay attention. Interesting. Thanks, Avril. Next person is Angie Griswold. Angie, your words are restart. Restart and spirit. Restart your spirit. Restart your spiritual connections. Have you been neglecting your spiritual interest and spiritual connections recently or for a little while now? Consider how you can restart. And I'm feeling like, you know, like the defibrillator thing. I don't know how to pronounce it, that they restart your heart with. So that's what I'm feeling here for you, this restarting of your spirit, restarting your connection again. Okay, we've got 2 people left, and I think both of you are watching. I don't know if you're still here. So next person, which is also going to decide the last person's words, is Teala Smith. So Teala, your words. So we've got 2 choices, and the best word for you is this: require and beginnings. What beginnings do you require? What needs to start afresh or start over? What do you need in regards to a new beginning, a fresh start? So what I would be doing is I'd be thinking about, what do I want? Or in this case, what do I require? That's got to do with something new, a new beginning, beginning again in some facet. So that's interesting. I trust that resonates, Teala. Thank you so much. That means our lucky last person is you, Angela. Fantastic. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I didn't see your message before. Thanks, Teala. Angela Fraser. Now, your words are already picked because I can't pick from any others than what's here. So let's see what they are. Remember is your first word. I find this really exciting. I love these play on words. Remember and emotion are your words. So through your emotions, through your emotional state, no, that's not right, through your power of your emotions, that's going to help you remember. So what do you need to remember? What are you trying to remember? What is there on the tip of your tongue that you're trying to work out right now? In other words, I feel in this moment anyway, with these words here, is remember. Your emotions are the key. And don't forget to feel your way through. Don't forget either to be in that emotional, that feeling state of emotion. So remember emotion. Emotions, remember. Yeah, so we could also play around with the words going one way and then from the other way as well. But thanks, Angela. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I trust that your words and maybe some others that came up, which are very interesting, have supported you at this time and maybe give you some food for thought, which is really important. And remembering too that the aim, the goal of this healing event, thank you, the aim has been renewal. So in regards to yours, especially if yours are a little bit cryptic, how does that relate to renewal for you? Maybe something to explore in your journal. Thanks, Jayne. So I'll be back at the end of September for our next healing list event, which is similar to this, but it's different each month. Hopefully we can plant the seeds of new beginnings. I have my garden, thanks, Tash. I have my garden ready to plant my seed potatoes for it. So we just need some fine weather. So hopefully that'll be next month. If not, it will be October. I'm in a colder environment now where I've moved to. So we may need to push it to October. I don't know. So we'll see. But thank you so much. And thanks, Gayle. Yeah, thank you. Have a great rest of your day. And thanks so much for joining me. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.